Are you ready to run through a wall?
I am now.
Are you ready to run through a wall? I've already ridden a wall. I don't know, whatever. What's up, everybody? It is Dylan and Ross Save Sports here, Full Press coverage, Full Press Radio Network. You have myself, Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson Nola on Twitter. Dylan Sanders at Dilly Sanders on Twitter. Whether you're listening to us live, listening to us later, watching us live, watching us later, we appreciate you being here. It's showing your support. Thank you very much for checking us out. It is time for a fun Friday episode here on Dylan and Ross Save Sports. We're going to talk through a little bit of NFL free agency. Got a lot of news about NFL free agents. We're going to do a little bit of basketball talk and just kind of have a fun time today, including a rivaling tier list with our good friends.
I think we should start off with that.
Oh, you want to start off with that heat, though?
Start off with the heat, Ross. I have officially called them out on Twitter. So I feel like we have to come with the fire.
I love it. Let's
talk
do
to
it.
them about how much we hate.
Let's get it done.
All right, Ross. So earlier this morning, we saw a tweet from at tbob53 off the bench show. ESPN off the bench. I don't want to.
Dylan's like, no, I'm not in the mood for this today.
I'm not in the mood for this.
Explain the beef. Explain the beef.
We're fighting. We saw a tweet earlier today from at tbob53. Our premier scientific team, comprised of myself, at Jacob Hester 18, at Daniel Cardenas, and at Matthew Musa Matthew on Twitter, have run the experiments and created the single most objective and inarguably correct nostalgic video game tier list on the internet. No feelings were involved, just science. And Ross, me and you, we're typically team science.
Typically team science over here. Yeah, absolutely.
But I fear, Ross, that science has failed us.
Today, science has failed us.
Today,
you know what we need?
Has failed us. What do we need?
We need some alternative science. That's what we need.
I agree.
So we're going to go for a second opinion. We're going to go for a second opinion on today's episode of Dylan and Ross Save Sports. We're going to bring our scientist in, bring our team in, and get our tier list of nostalgic video games done correctly, the right way.
Yes, the right way. The only correct tier list, Ross. All right, and let's get this. Let's get this going.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
All right.
Should we fix the problems first?
I think we just need to go ahead and just go and start, Ross.
Let's start from scratch. All right, dope. We'll do it that way.
Pokemon Red and Blue. A.
Easy.
Paperboy. C.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country. This was a C on their list, Ross. I would argue that Donkey Kong Country is one of the greatest platformers of all time.
It is. It absolutely is. I'm checking the science. Give me a second. The science agrees.
Okay.
One of the greatest platformers of all time. How much do you like platformers?
I like platformers a lot.
Then that makes it at least an A.
Yeah. We need it. And of course, this is not us. We're just going to be consulting the science and going to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This
plugging
is not...
in our algorithm, our equations.
That's right.
This is nothing personal.
Right.
I could hate platformers, but it's still an A because that's what our equation gives us.
That's what the science says. That's absolutely right.
Yes. All right. What is this? NBA courtside? What is this?
I'm going to check the science on that one, but the science is not great.
All right. C or D according to the science?
I would let's go. I think C according to the science for what I'm seeing here.
All right. Duck Hunt. Plug it in. B. I see a B.
I would take a B. My science says B as well.
All right. Gran Turismo.
I'm reading right now. Oh, maybe a C.
Yeah. Okay.
A C for Gran Turismo.
Vice City. Okay. I think this is where our two equations are going to overlap.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Because this is obviously an S tier.
This is an S tier. This is an S tier. I kind of the science agrees that it's an S tier, but I have to be honest. If the science said it wasn't, I might have to disagree with the science, especially after what we saw today about how. But this is alternative science, so this is clearly an S. This is clearly S.
All right, F-Zero. Where are you going?
F-Zero. My science. Not very high on F-Zero.
I'd give it a B. It was a revolutionary game.
That's true. That's true. You know what? Hold on. I have to add that to my equation. I got to add that to my equation. I'm going to rerun all the other games that we mentioned. Yep. Okay, we're good. B. And all the rest of the games, even with that added in the equation, everything else pans out.
All right. Halo Combat Evolved. I'm seeing a B on this one. It started off everything, but then immediately following up with Halo 2, I have as an A.
As an A, yes. Yeah. It also, it gets a little bit of that revolutionizing the game bump too, because that was a big change in first-person shooters with Halo.
EverQuest. I need to. Let's see. I'm gonna plug this one in real quick.
All right, go for it.
I need to make sure that this is what I think it is. Yeah. What do you have on EverQuest, Ross? I
am coming up with an inconclusive grade on EverQuest, so I will go with yours.
Just throw it into the C.
All right.
King Griffey Jr. Baseball.
I have an A on King Griffey Jr. Baseball.
All right. Mario Kart 64 S.
Yes, that's yes. That would some of these were predetermined by our algorithm, by the way. Yeah. So that's an easy one. That's a fast one.
Yes. Metroid. I have an A on Metroid.
Agreed.
Mortal Kombat.
Or rather, my science agrees. My science.
Yeah. Punch Out. What do you got? What do you got on Punch Out?
Punch Out. I have an A coming out for Punch Out.
Okay. All right. Mortal Kombat. I have a B.
B. Oh, okay.
I have a B on Mortal Kombat.
All right.
What did you have?
I had an A. So I think if it's a high B, that's fine.
High B. All right.
All right. Yeah.
NFL Blitz.
NFL Blitz. I have an A in my equation for NFL Blitz.
Oh, okay. NHL 64.
I also have inconclusive on NHL 64.
I'm gonna throw that at C. I have a C. NBA Jam.
NBA Jam. I got an S over here.
I got
an NBA Jam.
This one was flying off the charts. I have an S.
Yeah, this is like one of the highest S's I've recorded on Modern Record, actually.
Yes.
This might beat out a lot of. That's got to be pretty up there.
Yeah. Spyro the Dragon. I have a resounding A on this.
A resounding A for Spyro the Dragon. Agreed.
Yes. Sorry for Squadron. I'll throw in the D.
I have a resounding D. I wasn't sure if you could have a resounding D, but somehow I ended up with a resounding D.
All right. StarCraft Remastered. I was never a big StarCraft guy, Ross.
My equation for StarCraft Remastered is a B. I have mine coming out with a B.
Star Fox 64. Draw barrel roll.
Classic. Not that what I think matters. Right? Because it's all about the equation.
Yeah.
It's all about the equation. What do you have for this one?
I have a B on Star Fox 64.
B? Yeah. That checks out.
All right. Street Fighter 2.
Oh, Street Fighter 2. I've got a B on Street Fighter 2.
I'll put that next to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time.
I think this might be the first under from my equation. This might be the first one that I'm seeing that comes out under what I actually feel, which is that I've got an A on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Not an S. What do you have on this one?
I have an A on it. Well,
yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's very good. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest.
Nope. Super Mario Bros. 3.
All right. Now, on the other hand, Super Mario Bros. 3, I have coming out as an S.
All right. I'm down. I'm down.
How's your science though?
Mine was inconclusive on Super Mario Bros.
I have it. Talk about revolutionary platformers. I think it's because I plugged in the revolutionizing the genre part of the equation. That's really what lifted this one up to an S for me.
All right, Ross. I actually have one that's a couple away, but my equation is popping off because our equation actually takes into effect how people are affected by these games.
Yes.
And one that's popping up is World of Warcraft is actually popping up as a resounding
it
D.
It's been funny. There have been a couple of times where I've hesitated a little bit because I've wanted to say D on a couple of these games we passed, but then I keep seeing that it's actually World of Warcraft being so terrible that it's busting into the equation, even though I'm not trying to run it. That is I've never seen anything like this before, but that's what I'm getting over on my end.
I would agree. All right. Metal Slug.
Metal Slug, I have inconclusive.
I have a C on Metal Slug.
Okay.
Let's see. Wave Runner.
Wave Runner, I'm coming up with a D on Wave Runner.
GoldenEye 007, resounding S.
Resounding S.
NBA Street, Ross. This is, to be fair, this is NBA Street Volume 1.
Okay.
So what are you coming up with on Volume 1 of NBA Street?
For Volume 1.
Because we all know how we feel about Volume 2.
Volume 2 is unquestionable. Volume 1, however, I am showing a low A on Volume 1. Which could also be misconstrued as a high B.
NFL Street.
NFL Street, for NFL Street, I'm showing a high B on my end.
All right. Twisted Metal, I'm going to throw into a C.
Yeah.
It's I liked it, but when compared to all these other ones.
Yeah. This is now at the point where we've ranked so many of these that relativity between these games is starting to very much take effect in the science.
Yeah. WCW Revenge.
I have inconclusive on this one.
I'll throw a B into there.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to throw an A.
Ooh.
I re-hit the numbers. Crash Bandicoot, I'm going to go ahead and throw resounding S.
Yeah. I also had an S for Crash Bandicoot.
Let's see. Dune, the video game.
Dune, I'm showing either a low B or a high C.
I'm gonna go high C.
It's a delicious drink. Not really. It's disgusting sugar water. Please don't drink it.
Doom, the original Doom.
The original Doom, I'm showing a B on my end.
Yeah. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered.
I'm showing inconclusive, but I think that your algorithm is going to be very strong on this one.
Yeah, it's throwing that one up into an S.
Incredible. Remarkable.
NCAA football, which one is this? 07?
07?
I think. What was the Desmond Howard year? Whatever year he was on the cover, because that's obviously not the year he came out. I'm going to throw a B onto this one.
It's 06.
06. And speaking of 06, MVP NCAA baseball 06, I'm throwing into an A.
Ooh.
I loved MVP 06.
Wow. Okay.
NCAA baseball. Right. But of course, it doesn't matter what I think.
Doesn't matter. You're just glad that you and the science come together.
Yeah.
This is an example in which the science and I do not come together. But that is because of... No, I'm sorry. I was talking about MVP baseball. Only because I do not do a lot of baseball games. But that's why we rely on the science as opposed to inherent bias.
What about Final Fantasy?
I have a B on that one popping up.
Mm-hmm. Tecmo Super Bowl.
Tecmo Super Bowl. I have to rerun these numbers for a sec. I think this is Tecmo Super Bowl. For which system? Or not system, but
SNES.
SNES. Ah, yes. So then for me, This one, remember we plugged in the revolutionizing the game part of the algorithm. So for me, this one is coming out as an A.
I'm all for it. Super Mario World.
Super Mario World, I have as in we got another S. I've got another S here. Super Mario World.
Oh man, the S's keep coming. Super Mario 64 is also.
Oh, there's another one. That's a very, very quick one. We were able to run those both concurrently with the alphabet and such.
Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7. I have a B on Final Fantasy 7.
Oh,
what are you showing?
I'm throwing a low A, high B. So
low A, high B. That's great. That's great. That's great.
I'll go low A. Turtles in Time.
I'm showing a D on Turtles in Time.
Unreal Tournament. I'm showing a C.
I'm showing a C for Unreal Tournament. Yes.
And then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I'm showing an A for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
All right. Let's rerun some of these numbers, Ross.
All right.
F-Zero, I actually have a C now.
Yeah. I'm showing the same. Our algorithms have fine-tuned properly.
Duck Hunt.
I'm also showing a C for Duck Hunt now.
Yeah. EverQuest, I'm actually also showing a D now.
That has dropped.
Yes.
Enormously.
Yes. Let's see. Anything else need to be changed around? Let's see. No, I think this is good.
Yep, I think we've done it. I think the science has done it.
This may seem a top-heavy draft or tier list. But keep in mind, these are all nostalgia games for a reason.
Right. That is the very, very key piece of this conversation, in that they are nostalgic. Actually, I do have one that's showing up. I believe it's Final Fantasy 7. Is showing up as a B for me now.
All right.
High B, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's the only one that I'm showing. Rerunning the numbers that I'm getting differently.
I'm showing an A for Crash Bandicoot.
A for Crash Bandicoot. That's great. That's great. I think a similar thing is starting to happen in my equation for Super Mario 3. I think it's because of Super Mario World and Super Mario, like those being in the. I'm malfunctioning a little bit with all three of those in the same category.
Yeah. Our equation does love Mario.
Does love Mario.
All right. Well, I think we did it, Ross.
I think we've done it. Well done, my friend. Well done. Groundbreaking.
Well done.
Some might say.
Thank you to our scientists that created that algorithm.
Yep. Carla, JD, and Turk. We appreciate you very much for your contributions to our deal.
Yeah. What would we do without Carla, JD, and Turk?
I could not answer that question, nor do
I even want to think about
it. I even consider it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a terrifying prospect. Oh, well done. A good day. Let's hold off on free agency until after the break. We can go ahead and hit a little NBA for the time being.
The Jazz, Ross.
Oh yeah, the Jazz.
They're the real deal.
They are absolutely the real deal. The Jazz have been remarkable so far this season. I don't even need an algorithm to tell me that. They have been outstanding. Currently sitting at 24-5, and they're about to travel to take on the LA Clippers tonight. Sorry, who are 21-9. A win tonight for Utah really just furthers the conversation about their greatness. They have been really outstanding. And it helps when you have Donovan Mitchell, who's averaging 24.2 points per game with 42.7% field goal percentage. Rudy Gobert, 13.4 rebounds per game. Things are going very well for Utah.
Ross, a future got shown to me from Jackson Gatlin. And also keep in mind the NBA this weekend or early next week, we could be getting the second half of the season schedule.
Ah,
yes. So we'll finally know what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
With like teams getting games getting rescheduled, stuff like that.
Right.
We'll finally see what that's going to look like.
I think it was a very smart decision to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
To release the first half and then save the second half of that schedule to take into consideration games that have to be postponed and all of that. I think that was a very smart thing to do by the NBA.
Mm-hmm. So this weekend we could be getting that early next week, probably as soon as this weekend.
Great.
Typically, whenever you hear a report, it could happen as soon as this weekend. It'll probably be this weekend. It'll probably be this weekend. Let's see. And then, man, the Rockets, Ross.
Yeah, what's going on in I mean, I don't want to say what's going on in Houston because unfortunately not great things are going on in Houston, and our heart goes out to everybody in Texas. But what's going on with the with the Rockets, man? What's happening?
Injuries. Christian Wood is still out and has been out, and it sucks because I miss Christian Wood. And without Christian Wood, this team sucks.
It's not great. Not a great team.
Much like the Lakers are not great without Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Because
do you think it was because of Anthony Davis? I thought it had more to do with Dennis Schrader myself. Big jokes. How about them Nets though?
The Nets, man. Kyrie was feeling himself.
Oh yeah.
Did you see after so they got a tech? They sent LeBron to shoot the free throw. He bricked it. Kyrie told one of the Nets players, like, "That's your best free throw shooter." That team feeling himself. Kyrie needs to grow out his beard because he looks weird without a beard.
It's strange. He looks like he should be back in college.
Yeah.
But that's okay. 7 of 17, 0 of 5 from 3, unfortunately, but still 16 points and enough to help elevate his team to a 109-98 victory. Had some help, of course, from James Harden. 23 points and 11 assists, 5 rebounds. No Kevin Durant in this one, but no problem. Mm-hmm. Great defense by this team.
What's going on with the Bucks, man? They're on a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, I have been kind of is wary the right word of the Bucks since the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And now here they are on a 5-game losing streak, 16-13 on the season. They were in a really good position before that, of course, sitting at 16-7 or 16-8. But now, not going well. And at least tonight they're home against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is a good situation for them.
Yeah, and they just lost 110-96 to the Raptors. And of course, Drew Holiday didn't play last night, but like Drew Holiday shouldn't cause your team to go on this kind of skid and then lose 110-96 to the Raptors, who have been struggling this season.
Right. Like losing Drew Holiday doesn't usually cost you a 100-point game. It costs you over on the defensive side for sure. Yes, Drew Holiday can score. I'm not trying to be dismissive of his value in the offensive side, but it was shocking to see them really struggle to get anything going, any type of consistency going, any type of rhythm going at all without Drew Holiday. And then also last night we saw the Miami Heat getting their 118-110 victory. Jimmy Butler, since he's been back, has been very good. 2 triple doubles for the Heat. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists for Jimmy Butler, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists for Bam Adebayo. That's a hell of a pair to have. And you got 20 out of Duncan Robinson, going 5 from 11 from behind the arc. And then 22 from Olynyk as well. 10 of 16 from the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what do we got going on tonight, Ross?
So in tonight's games, we have a full lineup tonight in the NBA. Very busy lineup. We've got the Dallas and Houston game has been postponed. We knew that was coming. And then so starting up an hour after we go off air, Golden State will be taking on the Orlando Magic, and we'll get Denver and Cleveland. But on ESPN, a half hour after that, you're going to get the Chicago Bulls and the Philadelphia Philadelphia 76ers. And then in the primetime slot of the doubleheader at 7 p.m., you get that Utah Jazz and Los Angeles Clippers game. That's going to be a lot of fun. Very excited to watch that. I'm going to try to get through. I need to figure out what order I'm going to do things. Am I going to do Judas and the Black Messiah before that game, or the game and then Judas and the Black Messiah? I got to figure out which order I'm going to do. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. And then we also get the Pelicans back on the court tonight as well, with the Phoenix Suns going up against one another at 5 p.m. Pacific time, right when we a couple hours after we wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky good game too that I'm excited about is actually going to be Atlanta and Boston. Neither of them great teams. Neither of them like top tier phenomenal teams right now, but I feel like they match up very well against one another and should make for a good game.
Mm-hmm. And then Suns Pelicans, Ross.
Yeah. That's one that comes on a couple hours after we wrap up. So I'll be excited about that one. And that'll be the Pelicans at home. They couldn't beat Dame a couple days ago. They got a nice victory against Phoenix earlier on in the season. It was considered to be one of their big turnaround victories. They haven't really completed or continued the turnaround since then. So we'll see if they can maybe start themselves up again here against Phoenix. Zion has turned around big time. He has turned a corner. I feel like this is probably a stupid thing to say, but I'm going to say it. I feel like
that was moronic.
I feel like Zion could look more dominant than he is for some people in terms of like visual domination, in terms of like what LeBron James was, who's like a full head of steam coming down the court. But the way that Zion plays his game is so unique and so interesting to me, because he dominates, but he does it with finesse in a way that's a really, really interesting despite his imposing physical build.
And he is just so efficient.
It's insane. Excuse me. It's not insane. It's impressive is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's very impressive. So I am excited to see them get back on the court this evening and hopefully be able to get back on the winning side of things up against the Phoenix Suns today. Just in terms of the odds, they do have a 50.3% chance according to ESPN's BPI. So they're picked to win this one, but not by much. But the odds go -3.5 in terms of the spread to the Phoenix Suns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Like I said, do you want to go ahead and go to the break?
Yeah, let's hit our break, and then when we come back, we'll talk through some NFL free agency. Got some news today about some folks that are going to be hitting the market, a couple of very saturated positions in the market as well. We'll talk about how that might affect the market, the open market once we get in, and then we'll have a little bit more fun to wrap up the show. We'll be back here in just a moment. Dylan Ross, Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. All right. On break in the audio world, still hanging out here with all of you on video. Thanks very much for being here with us. Dylan, how far are we from the next WandaVision? 6 days.
6 days and
10 and a half hours?
Yeah.
Something like that? 11 and a half hours?
Well, you gotta wait. Before you watch Judas and the Black Messiah, you have to watch WandaVision.
So that's the part that helps to do it afterwards, because I can watch WandaVision, then I can watch the game, and then I can watch Judas and the Black Messiah.
WandaVision was good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited it's an hour today.
It's actually, Ross, they lied to us.
Oh.
It wasn't an hour. It's not an hour.
It was only 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah. There is, Ross, post-credit scene.
Oh. Love me a good post-credit scene. What is your favorite post-credit scene that you've seen in a film?
I don't know.
Mine is without competition, Howard the Duck.
That is a good one.
Easily.
Ferris Bueller's is a top tier one.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then, of course, Deadpool making fun of the Ferris Bueller one.
Yep. That's how iconic a post-credit scene, the Ferris Bueller one, is. That another post-credit scene made reference to a post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, iconic. The Avengers getting shawarma together.
Yeah. I like skyrocketed shawarma sales.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah. It like actually had an effect on shawarma sales in the city because that was how white people learned what shawarma was. No, that's how a lot of people learned what shawarma was. And it ended up skyrocketing shawarma sales.
Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming has a good one with Captain America.
Oh, yeah. That is a good one.
Doing the PSA.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the ones that come to mind are Marvel because
the best ones have been the Marvel ones.
They made such a big deal about it.
Yeah, they like popularized
and this one
them.
scared the heck out of me.
Oh no!
Because I didn't expect it.
Oh, okay.
I was just on my phone. Because there hasn't been one yet.
Right.
And I just let the credits roll. So I was just on my phone, like looking up stuff about the ending of the episode, like on Twitter and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like boom, and I was like,
oh.
But Ross, I got to tell you, so ready for the next episode.
I'm ready. All right, we're back. Here we come.
Nope. All right.
All right, everybody, we are back to Little Ross Save Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network.
And then I said, that's not my wife. That's a lawnmower.
Wow, that is... I have several questions.
Well, it makes sense if you listened to the video portion, Ross. Like if you watched us live on video, it made sense. The audio people only got to hear the end of the joke.
That's fair. Oh man, I love it. All right, so we got some news today from NFL free agency. A couple of different moves going on. The most recent one, I think, is an interesting. Is the most interesting is the Eagles officially releasing Deshaun Jackson, and this comes the day after trading, or a couple of days after trading away Carson Wentz. So how do you think Deshaun Jackson has enough in the tank that folks would be interested in landing him on another team?
I gotta be real. I had no clue he was still in the Eagles.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's still in the Eagles. He didn't do anything last year, did he?
No,
well, the team didn't do anything.
Yeah, hardly his fault. But he only appeared in 5 games last year. He had
remember whenever he quoted Hitler?
That was so weird.
Real
remarkably uncomfortable.
Real weirdo behavior.
Yeah, remarkably uncomfortable. Not great.
Yeah.
And it was like this the quote itself was also like, even if you didn't know it was Adolf Hitler, like you still shouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you still shouldn't share that quote. I don't know. So strange. But he's going to be on the market now, and perhaps a team looks to potentially bring him in
for a vet minimum deal.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to sign for more than that, and that's going to be a running theme throughout the segment. Is I don't know, because of the saturation of the market and the drop in salary cap. Even if the salary cap were to have stayed the same, right? Like that's still a big deal, and it's still something that isn't happening to the extent that we thought it was going to happen. Excuse me. Some folks thinking it's going to be $185 million, somewhere around there. Still a big deal to lose that $13 million from last year. And so I think that with the fact that teams are going to be losing salary, and the fact that there are a lot of players, starter quality players out there, I'll be curious to see how that affects the market. The Packers moved on from linebacker Christian Kirksey as well as tackle Rick Wagner and save about $10 million, a little over $10 million doing that. Christian Kirksey had a market last year before he signed in Green Bay, because he was coming off of his time with the Cleveland Browns. I think there's a chance that he has a market again this season. He had played in 11 games, had 2 interceptions, which is his big thing, right? He's a coverage guy. 4 passes defended, but also added 2 sacks and 77 total tackles, including 2 for a loss. I think he might be somebody to watch in the free agency market. That could be one of those like mid-tier linebackers that ends up signing, in the second day, or maybe even the first day of free agency, but very likely in the second day of free agency, unless somebody, verbally comes to a deal with him between March 15th and 16th. Mm-hmm. Or even beyond that, because now he's a free agent. He was released as opposed to it happening at the league year.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end Rick Wagner could be somebody that ends up being, on the market because folks are looking for depth at the tackle position and things like that.
Yeah. Any other new? I have an article that could be interesting to go to, Ross.
A couple more little things in free agency, I think, though, before we do that. I could have sworn that there was another move related to. Oh, I guess it was the Panthers move from yesterday. So sure, let's go ahead and get into your article.
All right, Ross. So we talk a lot about what teams should do in the offseason, Ross. Here's an article of one move every NFL team needs to avoid making in the 2021 offseason, Ross.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I like that.
So one move every NFL team needs to avoid in the 2021 offseason. The Arizona Cardinals, we already know this isn't happening. Overpay to keep Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, well, check.
Check. The Atlanta Falcons, trade Matt Ryan.
Oh, to avoid trading Matt Ryan. I think that's true. I think that's true. I don't think they should do that.
All right.
Even if they do grab a quarterback at 4, like they should keep Matt Ryan.
Baltimore Ravens overpay to keep Matt Judon.
Also very true. Especially with you got some good pass rushers going into free agency this offseason and good pass rushers in the draft too.
This is interesting. Buffalo Bills let Josh Norman walk.
That they shouldn't let Josh Norman walk.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
I don't know. I guess he's a good situational coverage guy.
Sure.
He doesn't see the field very often. I don't know. He's good at what he does now, but it's not very much. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like
that seems like you could get a cheaper option than $5 million.
That's my thing. I completely agree. I think that he is somebody that you can find better. You know what I mean?
Carolina Panthers, they should avoid committing to Teddy Bridgewater as the starting quarterback.
Oh, interesting.
I
think it depends on how long you're trying to commit to. Like, if you were to commit to him as a starting quarterback to start off the season, that's one thing, and then you transition to a rookie quarterback later if you get one, things like that. But I don't see too big of a deal about that.
The Chicago Bears overspend to keep Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, it might be their only option, but I don't think they're going to have to overpay. I don't think he's going to demand much money.
Yeah, I don't think he can because it's not like he's going to have a huge market anywhere.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting one. We see them propose to do this a lot. Cincinnati Bengals should avoid drafting a receiver at number 5.
Oh, simple.
I
don't know. They took a receiver last year, but taking one at 5 should be pretty simple to avoid doing unless you're dead set on pairing Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. But I think you have to go offensive line. And if you don't go offensive line, then you certainly go Kyle Pitts if he's still on the board at that point.
But I would count Kyle Pitts as a receiver.
Yes, that's fair.
It depends on what they do in free agency. If they get a tackle or something in free agency, if they get Darrell Williams or something.
Good point.
I could see them going a Jamar Chase or a Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns, this is one we both agree with. They should avoid trading Odell Beckham Jr.
Agreed. Stop playing around.
Come on. This is another obvious one. Dallas Cowboys. Can you guess what it is?
Is it let Dak Prescott hit the open market?
Yes.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos. We already know this isn't going to happen. Exercise Von Miller's option.
Sounds like that's not happening.
The Detroit Lions re-sign Everson Griffin.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I
wouldn't
mean,
be upset with them re-signing Everson Griffin. I mean, what other pressure players do they have?
Oh man, they're projected to be more than $1 million over the salary cap.
Oh, how will they ever?
I guess it's got to be Everson Griffin.
Jeez, you can't get that elsewhere.
Green Bay Packers should re-sign Kevin King.
That they should avoid re-signing Kevin.
Yes.
King. Yeah, that makes sense.
Houston Texans should avoid trading Deshaun Watson.
Wow. No, I mean, what else? What were they going to put? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what could they possibly put there instead of trading Deshaun Watson?
Indianapolis Colts overrate Carson Wentz as the long-time answer.
Oh, that's a good point. That's an interesting one. So you've made this trade for him. You didn't have to give up a ton of draft capital, but do so with the understanding that you're probably going to be ready to move on from him pretty quickly, as opposed to overcommitting to him.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'll be curious to see if that's like harder to do because they traded for him, because they gave up capital to get him, as opposed to signing him on a new deal, things like that, where you could be a little bit more cautious. That's a good one. I like that one. Do you think Carson Wentz is the long-term answer for them?
No. I like that he's getting along with the players at least, though. So.
Word.
There's that. Jacksonville Jaguars trade out of the number 1 pick.
Yes, they should very much avoid trading out of the number 1 pick.
Kansas City Chiefs overspend to keep Sammy Watkins. Again, I don't think they'll have to.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have to do that. Yeah, I don't think they'll have to do that at all.
Las Vegas Raiders should avoid trading Derek Carr.
Sounds like it sounds like they are definitely avoiding that.
Mm-hmm. Los Angeles Chargers overpaying to keep Melvin Ingram. That one they might have to do.
Yeah, if they want to keep him. I don't know that they're going to keep him though.
Yeah,
I don't know that they're going to keep him.
The Los Angeles Rams overspend to keep Leonard Floyd. I think that they should try to do as much to keep that defense together as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Miami Dolphins overcommit to Tua Tagovailoa.
Interesting.
I mean, I guess that's not a move that you would make this offseason unless he means to draft someone else, because that's the only other option.
Yeah, that's fair. Not really too much you can do there.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota Vikings let Anthony Harris get away. I agree.
Yeah, that's a good one.
New England Patriots.
He's one of those guys too. That's part of a very, very busy safety class this year.
Mm-hmm. New England Patriots bring in another stopgap quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, if you can help it, sure.
New Orleans Saints. What is the one thing the New Orleans Saints should avoid, Ross?
Not re-signing Jameis Winston.
They should avoid re-signing Jared Cook.
Oh,
duh.
I mean, okay. I think they might.
They might,
but yeah, a much lesser deal.
The New York Giants should avoid extending Saquon Barkley.
Amen, my friend.
The man is good, but
you can't fix where you drafted him, but you can fix how much you're going to commit to him being the only effective thing in your offense.
Yeah. The New York Jets should avoid refusing to sell the number 2 pick. They should be open to trading back in that case.
That's fair. I don't know what you're going to do at quarterback in that case, but hey.
Philadelphia Eagles re-sign Jason Peters. They should
I like
avoid
that.
resigning him. Yeah, I don't think they will anyway.
No, there's no need to. You have a mobile quarterback now. You don't, not as much of a stature of a quarterback at this point. After Carson Wentz's injuries, he wasn't as mobile as he was early on in his career, things like that. Early on in his career, the guy only played a few years, but you know what I mean.
Pittsburgh Steelers overvalue Ben Roethlisberger.
Amen.
I would get rid of him sooner rather than later.
Well,
no matter
Dylan,
what he has to say about it.
Dylan, when it comes to Ben Roethlisberger, it doesn't matter what you want.
If San Francisco 49ers overcommit to Jimmy Garoppolo, it doesn't sound like they're doing it anyway.
Yeah, it's a smart choice not to, by the way, but yeah, it doesn't seem like they're in any hurry to do so.
The Seattle Seahawks should avoid considering trading Russell Wilson. Duh.
Yeah, they really shouldn't do it. They should trade him to the New Orleans Saints, but they really shouldn't trade him.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers overpaid to keep Leonard Fournette. Again, I don't think they would have to overpay.
Mm-mm.
People think everybody has a big old market. That's not how that works.
Especially not running backs.
Tennessee Titans overpay for J.J. Watt. I mean, why not? Why not? Washington football team bet too heavily on Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, he had a good game. He might have 2-3 more good games if you start him next year, and then after that, you don't know what's going to happen once there's enough tape. And then the other part of it too is that if you bet too highly on him, then you don't draft a succession plan, and I think you have to do that, or at least look for a succession plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those are good. I enjoyed those.
Yeah. Let's see. You want to talk a little baseball or something? Some power rankings or something, Ross?
Oh yeah, we did a lot of power rankings last year. We should do that again.
You want to do baseball power rankings, Ross?
I like it.
All right, here we go. Do you want to start at 30 or number 1?
What's funnier?
30, I guess.
Starting at 30, great. Let's start at 30.
Number 30, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yike. R.I.P. Pittsburgh.
Only 2 teams in MLB history have lost 120 games in a season. That's the level of bad we might be talking about with the 2021 Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yikes.
29, Colorado Rockies. Most teams hold press conferences during their offseason to introduce their newest additions to the public and get fan base excited. The Rockies held one to try to justify trading away the face of the franchise, Nolan Arenado, for pennies on the dollar.
Real quick, what we haven't talked about this week?
What?
Fernando Tatis.
Yes.
And his contract, his 14-year, $340 million contract extension signed Wednesday night, according to ESPN. The deal's 3rd largest contract in MLB history, only behind Mike Trout and Mookie Betts. Did he deserve it?
Yes.
100,000%.
You got to feel bad for Ronald Acuna because he just signed an 8-year, $100 million deal.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to feel bad for someone who just made $100 million, but
yeah,
still, it's not $340 million.
Yeah. And I think something to be said with Tatis being a shortstop and some of these other things too. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that they talked about over at ESPN as well is which young star could be next in line to get a mega deal like Tatis's contract. One of them that came up was Soto. The Washington Nationals definitely have the money to do that now that Bryce Harper and Anthony Rendon have been gone over the past couple of years. So Soto seems like a good one. And then Max Scherzer was another that came up in their conversation. And then also Cody Bellinger for the Dodgers was another that came up. So we'll see who'll be next, but shout out Slam Diego.
We're big fans of Slam Diego over here.
Mm-hmm. And we're big fans of Slam Diego. We're big fans of Fernando Tatis. We're big fans of grand slams up multiple points, and we're big fans of bat flips. So That's pretty much it. Big Slam Diego guys over here.
Listen, I'm all for Slam Diego. Let's see. Where did that go? Where did it go? All right. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see. Number 28, the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
Again, the bottom of the MLB has been the same
For
wow. Number 27,
wow.
the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
Number 26, the Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's been for a while.
Yeah.
That's been the bottom tier, the Jets tier, if you will. Now looking at some newer names here from 25 to 21, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some names that I don't think you might expect to hear this low.
Okay.
The number 25, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay.
24, the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
23, the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
22, the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
And then 21, the Boston Red Sox.
That is, I did not hear one of the names I was expecting to hear in that range. That's interesting. Yeah, Boston Red Sox, you're not used to hearing being 21st in power rankings. It's still kind of strange. The Diamondbacks don't entirely surprise me at all, just based upon where they have been here recently. Same thing
I
with
know
the
what
Royals.
team you're thinking about hearing, and you haven't heard yet.
There's two. There's one that I'm surprised that I haven't heard. Actually, there's two that I'm surprised I haven't heard yet. One that I'm glad I haven't heard yet. That's the way I'll say it.
Okay. Number 20, Ross, we have the San Francisco Giants.
Okay, that was one of the ones I was surprised that I didn't hear sooner.
With roughly $75 million coming off the books next winter and a stacked farm system, the Giants are on the cusp of something big. Cool.
That's one way to look at it.
Number 19, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
Number 18, the Miami Marlins.
There they are. That's what I'm pleased. I was pleased to not have heard yet.
Yeah, and it makes sense to hear them now. It's mainly because they have a really good young pitching rotation.
Yeah.
So, hey.
It's not the usual Marlins team anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? Like they've had that same kind of like Cleveland Browns rise.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, to where they were the butt of every joke, and then now they're actually a pretty up and coming club.
Number 17, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay.
Number 16, Cleveland.
Okay. So Cleveland's an interesting one, right? They have a couple of good pieces, but they lost. What is it? Lindor and Carrasco were the two that they lost.
Carlos Carrasco and Francisco Lindor. Yes.
Yeah. And they had lost. I felt like they had lost somebody else too, but those were big losses for them.
Mm-hmm. Those
I'm
are
not
the
surprised
big
to see them dropping a little bit.
Number 15, the Los Angeles Angels.
That's right. It's the Angels. It's not that other Los Angeles.
Number 14, the Los Angeles Dodgers. No, I'm joking. The Chicago Cubs.
Okay. I thought the Cubs might be a little bit below the Angels.
They did lose Yu Darvish.
They still have a lot of.
I'm surprised Chris Bryant is still a Chicago Cub.
Yeah, same. But they do have a lot of they got a lot of bat on the offensive side. It's just what are they going to do about pitching and all that?
Number 13, the Houston Astros.
Oh.
And Ross, the first thing mentioned is something that we are both going to be very, very excited about. A healthy Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Jordan. I cannot wait for a full season of a healthy Yordan Alvarez. Please inject it into my veins. I've missed it so much.
I'm very excited to see him.
Because we got excited, and then he immediately got hurt last year.
Right.
And was out for the year.
Right.
How
much does the loss of George Springer matter for the Astros?
With the young outfield that they have, potentially not too bad.
Okay. I feel like that's like the big knock against them so far this offseason. When I've heard folks talk about him has been like, well, they lost George Springer and everything like that, but I wasn't sure how much that really affected them. Which I guess we won't learn until they play, but
they did add Jackie Bradley Jr. to replace him.
Nice. Okay.
It's going to be a battle between them and Oakland, I still think, at the top of the AL West. Number 12, we have the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh.
With George Springer and Marcus Semien joining them.
I'm excited about them. They have a lot of firepower.
The blank Blue Jays.
Right. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Perhaps the Tampa Blue Jays.
Number 11, the Oakland Athletics.
Okay.
Number 10, we have the Washington Nationals.
Juan
Soto.
Say again.
Juan Soto.
Yeah, Juan Soto, and then
Steven Strasburg.
Who am I thinking of? Max Scherzer is who I was thinking about. Who's like not at the top of the game anymore, but they're still pretty good at in pitching.
Minnesota Twins at number 9.
Okay.
8, the Tampa Bay Rays. Even after losing Blake Snell and Charlie Morton.
Yeah, still a good rotation there.
Number 7, the St. Louis Cardinals. With newly added Nolan Arenado.
Yeah. They won, I don't remember what they were 30 games last year, if I remember right. 30 and 28 in the abbreviated season.
Number 5, the Chicago White Sox.
Okay. I don't know too much about the White Sox.
Number 4, they have the Atlanta Braves.
There's a name that I'm very, very excited to see where they're going right now. Great.
Number 3, the New York Yankees.
Oh, okay. All right. Garrett Cole, all those folks.
So we have 2 names we haven't heard yet, Ross.
Right.
And at number 2, we have the Slam Diego
Padres, baby. Yes, I'm so excited, man. I love that the top 2 teams are these like Southern California teams ready to go at one another.
Oh, I haven't said number 1 yet, Ross.
I mean, but I know who number 1 is. I knew who number 1 was before you mentioned number 30, because number 1 is
the Los Angeles Dodgers.
You're damn right, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. Where did the New York Mets fall? I feel like I missed that.
Number 6.
That's so great. I love seeing the Mets a top 10 team.
Not too far behind the Yanks.
Not too far behind the crosstown Yankees.
And then, of course, tonight, Ross, speaking of baseball, we got college baseball back.
College baseball's back, baby.
That's what I'm excited for. Ross, should I watch the Pelicans or should I watch LSU Tigers baseball? I'm going to answer it for you. It's LSU Tigers baseball, baby. I can't wait.
I was going to say, you watch the Tigers game. I'll watch the Pelicans and we'll report back. How about that?
Yeah, I'm all for it. All for it.
All right, y'all. It's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Dylan and Ross Save Sports. We appreciate you as always being here with us, whether you're watching or you're listening. Thank you. We hope that y'all have a wonderful and safe weekend. Dylan, any last points for the folks?
Go Duggar.
It's the appropriate time to say it. That's for certain with them. What is with first pitch?
I don't even know if they play tonight, honestly.
I thought they did play today.
I thought they played tonight. They might play tomorrow.
Basketball's tonight because they're going up against, I think, Auburn in basketball tonight.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah, they've got Auburn. No, Auburn's tomorrow on Saturday.
Yeah, Auburn's tomorrow. Shout out to a top 8 Alabama team.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Shout out to incredible gymnasts as well.
Shout out to a 7-13 Kentucky team.
College gymnasts have been incredible.
LSU is a gymnastics school. All right, Ross, take us out.
100%. All right, y'all. We will see you on Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time here on Full Press Radio, Full Press Coverage. Thank you very much for being here with us. Have a safe weekend. We'll holler at you soon.
Bye.